Hi, leadership. I'm Miss Rutledge, and I wanted to just share a few things with you before we had our first meeting on Monday. I'm looking at the leadership meeting here, and I wanted to go over a couple of points on the different office positions. I realize that many of you may not have ever been in my classroom, or you know about leadership and you know you want to do it, but you're not quite sure all of the small details. So I just wanted to share a couple things with you today. First, this is the classroom. And here you can see all of our shirts. There's a lot of shirts here that go with some of the projects that we do. Some of those are state projects. You can see Powder Puff in here and a couple of other bigger events that we have been a part of. These shirts also represent us as district officers and some of the themes or ideas that we have created. Also, we are the President's School for our district. Here's our district flag that will be in our room this year as we lead our district. Also, you can see that we are a most outstanding and a sweepstakes student council and leadership, and here's some of our past awards. We get these awards by our binders, and our binders include the different committees. And here you can see community service, energy and environment, pride and patriotism, and DASH. Those are our committees that we complete projects for throughout the year. We also keep documents in our binders. This one is our pride and patriotism binder, and it just has what we call write-ups in them, and that's just to document what we have done throughout the year. This write-up right here says that we helped with the Parkway Field Day and handed out ribbons, so that we get points for that. But more of that to come. What I want to talk about now is the different office positions. The president should be someone that presides over all meetings and conferences. So our class is set up a little differently than a traditional class. Coach Burns and I will not always be leading the class, and we will let y'all lead the discussions and decide in what projects that we do. And then that person should also be someone who is willing to help supervise and work well with not only the other officers, but the rest of the class. You may be wondering what a purchase order is. This is a purchase order. So on here, as a class, we would decide, okay, well, we want to buy, this past year, we filled backpacks with water bottles. So we would put on here that we agree to spend money to buy water bottles, and we would fill out this and figure out how much money we wanted to spend, and then you would be in charge of signing this form. All of these things that I'm listing on here are mostly done in class. Okay, for the vice president, again, you should just be a support for the president and the other officers, and really work well together. It's really a group effort. You may have an individual title or role, but that's just because you're interested in fulfilling that part. We should all work together on all projects and ideas. The secretary will help maintain just files, making agendas. This was our agenda for January and February. It's really just a calendar, and then down here it lists all the things that we were working on or going to be working on. That is something that the secretary might be in charge of. That secretary and I would work together on what to put on that. Also, the secretary and the student council representative would work together because we want to make sure and give all of that information to student council and class officers. The secretary would also help with the binders. You are not responsible for all these pages, but you are responsible for making sure they're getting done. And so you would delegate other people in the class to help. You would recruit them to help you. Okay, treasurer is going to help us with our records. Obviously, we would be working with Miss Allen in the business office, and it might just be you running this piece of paper that we had signed to her. It might be asking her how much money we have in our account, because we might be trying to decide on a project and we might need to be spending some of our money. So you would just go down and ask her about that. So again, the treasurer would be working with Miss Allen and myself, helping us spend our money and approving us to spend our money. And again, all that's done in class, and Coach Burns and I are here to help you with that also. Our parliamentarian is just a neutral voice in helping decide decisions. You don't really take sides, but you're kind of listening in and help us when we are voting. Parliamentarian procedure is just something that we will go over in class at the start of the year, because not just the person who runs for parliamentarian, but the whole class needs to understand how that works. And it's just either saying that you agree with a decision or you don't agree by saying aye or nay. Also, you would be responsible for helping set up all of the voting that we do, whether it be for class officers or homecoming or any of our spring elections, just helping set up tables. And I'm sure you've seen us in the back of the cafeteria on those voting days, but helping make sure that that runs smoothly. Okay, our publicity manager is really just in charge of getting pictures and videos of all the things that we do, whether it be at a conference or in class that day, or if we're having voting and you can take a picture of us. Also, if we need to put anything in the announcements, since you have all that document of pictures and videos, you would be able to get with Mr. Collins and have that information sent out. Maybe we want people to make sure they come out and vote, so you would just either you make the video or you help in the making of the video by being behind the scene or asking someone to read something and you record them. And we really, something else that was made this year, we make signs that go around school when we start to sell homecoming shirts, or if we're getting ready for a project, or if we're getting goods donated, you would also be helping with that. But that's not to say that you might delegate and ask other members of the class to help make those things. The student council representative, we meet once a month with student council and class officers, and we really are just one big happy family and one big group, and we want everyone to help working on the same project. We really can't do a lot of the stuff we do without those student council members. So that person who runs for student council representative would be in charge of attending all the student council meetings and just kind of leading that meeting and being a voice of what's going on in leadership and how they can help us. And you might also work well with the secretary to get the agenda or the calendar together to send out to those meetings. Okay, I think I've covered everything. I am so excited about our first meeting on Monday. I look forward to getting to meet with all of you. Remember, it's Monday, May 11th at 6 p.m. I'm hoping everyone can join. There's a few I haven't heard back from. If you have already filled out this document and you're thinking that you might want to reconsider and run for an office position, you are welcome to go back and resubmit that information. Something else that we're going to be talking about and discussing is that after the meeting and after people have spoken, I will create a voting form for you to vote. So people who are wanting to run for an office, I will need a picture of you. I will also need just a quick write-up. It doesn't have to be very long, but something short that thoroughly explains why you feel like you would be the best person for that position. And then we will have a time to vote after our meeting, and then I will close the voting, and then we will have our officers. If we do not have all the roles filled, we will revisit this back or in the fall when school starts up. I'm again look forward to meeting with all of you on Monday. Have a good weekend. Bye.